Hey kids, in this video we're going to go over how to do the first drawing in class. First thing we're going to do is start our drawing, and to do that we're going to go up to the new button up here, click on it. It'll bring up this dialog box. We want to do an English and we want to do a standard part. As we progress through the class we'll talk about almost all of these, but for right now, English standard part, go down here and click create. This will bring up your actual modeling screen. Now the first thing I like to do is to go over to my model tree. And my model tree here is simply just a list of things that we've done. I like to call it our directions. This is kind of the how we made the part, the history, however you like to look at it. Everything that you're going to do to your actual part, you're going to do right here. First thing I like to do is hit this little caret, drop it down on the origin folder, and right click on the YZ, the XZ, and the XY planes. These right here are your X, Y, and Z coordinates. So that's width, height, and depth. This little box over here is a visualization of my part, so I know exactly where I'm at while I'm building it. So if I need to know the front, top, whatever, I can simply click on it and it will go to that view. I like an isometric view, so I go between the top, front, and right. What we're going to do is create a part that has depth. And usually depth means you're working on the Y plane. Now, no matter what plane you pick, it's perfectly fine. We can fix it later. And at the end of the day, unless we're printing this or sending this out to get machined, if the right side's the front view, it's not that big of a deal right now. We're just learning. So how do I actually start drawing that part? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my Start 2D Sketch. And a little helpful hint, whenever we hover over any of these tools, we'll get a little pop-out that'll explain exactly what it is, just in case we forget. Very helpful. So I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch. I need to click a plane in order to start sketching. So I want this to kind of project out, so I'm going to pick this plane right here. This will take us to our sketch mode. And you'll see we have an entirely new ribbon up here with other things to do. And again, we'll learn a lot of these as we go through, but I just want to draw your attention to line and this check mark. 9 out of 10 times if I see a student frustrated and they can't get Inventor to do something they want, generally you're in some sort of mode, generally sketch mode, and you just need to finish it in order to get out. So just look up here and just be aware if you see a giant green check, you're in sketch mode. The line tool is the other one we're going to use today. So if I look at my part here, I can simply just map this out. I'm going to go down here to my origin. Now you'll notice anytime I get to an edge of something, it'll turn green. This is just a plane. This is just a layout. So there is no edge, middle, or anything else. But my origin is definitely a point, 0, 0. I always work from there. Next thing I'm going to do is enter the number 5. Now one little hint here. As you drag your mouse around, you'll notice that if you start typing in a number, you are locked into that angle. So be aware of that. Once you get it parallel, you'll get this little 0 degrees and that little parallel sign. All I have to do is just hit 5 because we're already in inches and we'll be in inches. It's always going to give you an up close of the part because we are really zoomed into it, and as soon as we start adding stuff, it's quickly going to expand out. We can just zoom out by rolling our little mouse wheel. Now one helpful hint here, wherever my cursor is, that is where I'm going to zoom in or out of. So just be aware of that. It's not to the middle of the screen, it's to wherever your mouse cursor is. So I just zoomed out a little. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to type in the height. And the height of this is 2 5/16. Now to put a decimal in, we can do it a couple different ways, and I'll show you it as we put it in. The first one is you can simply just do 2 space 5/16. Pretty easy. At this point I need to go over. Inventor's going to help me out here because once I'm parallel, I'm going to get these little dashed lines, and that's telling me I'm at a right angle and hovering over that. So I can just simply click and just click down just like that. So this is a box, but our object isn't a box here. So let's get rid of these lines, and it's helpful to know how to delete these. If you simply just click on a line, hit delete, you can get rid of it. You can also hover over a line, right click it, it'll bring up this little toolbar, and you can hit delete from there as well. Let's go back up to our line. Make sure when we come down here we have a green dot. That means we're snapping to the edge. On my drawing up here, the first thing we need to do is we need to go up 1 inch. So I'm going to go up 1 inch. Now this next one has me going up and over 1 5/16. So I'm going to do 1-5/16. And then again, 1 space 5/16. I can simply connect these 2 points now. We know how to delete lines from before. You can again click on it, hit delete, or right click and hit delete there. I want to come over here and do the same thing to the other side. This is going to be a little helpful, and I can take my shortcuts. I see the dashed lines coming up, so I know that is parallel to that point. Do another 1/5/16. And this one, we can just go up into our parallel again. I'm going to connect those points right now, and then connect these points right here. Again, I'm going to delete these lines. I'm in my line command. I can't delete while I'm doing that. I have to escape twice. Click on the line, delete, over here, and delete. This is now a closed object, meaning all of the points have edges. They're connected to something else. If you have gaps in any points of these, it will not let you do the next step. So just be aware of that. And by getting these green lines, I know them there. Now I want to add my depth, so I'm going to go to Finish Sketch. I'm going to zoom out. You can see my object here. What I want to do is extrude. And this object is 1 7/8. And I can just type in 1.875. That's going to give me my depth. I hit OK. And now I can look at my object. It's all done. I can spin it around. It has depth. It has thickness. I could actually print this out if I wanted to on my 3D printer. I could do whatever I want towards it. Looking back up here to my tree, I just want you to see here is my list of stuff that happened. I have my original sketch and I have extrusion. So there's 2 steps that I have right here. I can edit both of these at any time. If I would like to edit the sketch, I just have to right click on it, hit edit sketch, and I can come up here and change any line that I want. I can also change the extrusion by right clicking and going to edit feature. So the feature is the depth, the sketch is the actual drawing on it. That's it. That is our part. I hope this video helped you, and as always, if you have any questions, please come find me in class. Have a great day.